Now? I would say I'm not struggling with it in improv, but it's something that I'm afraid of a lot.
I'm struggling and I'm working very hard to choose my next word or movement very wisely.
There is no one improvisation, there is no one correct way to do it. There are many different ways of doing it, and probably in the end there are as many different styles as there are players who play improvisation.
So if I would have to edit something afterwards, I had to work the least possible, the less possible, because I think we talk too much and we say too little, and we move too much and we move awfully on stage. So I want to be more precise.
The best improv shows that I watch are the ones where the flow between all the ensemble is like completely perfect. I'm personally not really interested in seeing like a show with a star. And so the thing I struggle with sometimes, depending on the group that I'm playing with or the show, is stepping forward too much or not stepping forward enough, and that constant balance between the two, and then the voice in your head that goes, have I been on too much? And then you said that to yourself, and that probably means you haven't been on it, and la 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 la. So yeah, I think generally the great ensembles working together in harmony, and then so personally, what is my place in that? And knowing whether it means being more confident or more cautious, and that's different every single night, so you can't really solve it. But I think trying to have an awareness is my struggle.
Fear of being misunderstood or not understanding somebody else on the stage and creating even more misunderstanding, and then just being in this situation of like, did he say that, or did he say this thing, or should I answer this way, or did he mean something different? And just every moment when I'm on the stage is just that fear.
I feel very quickly very responsible for everything what is happening on stage. And I mean, it's not a bad thing, but sometimes it keeps me away from having fun because I feel responsible. I start judging myself and the others, which is not good.
Everyone has their own different style and their own superpowers and stuff, and I'm quite a physical player, quite a visceral player, and that has its place. But sometimes I'm like, I wish I was as wordy or as clear as some other improvisers are. So I'm trying to just let that go and embrace what my superpowers are and kind of work on that, keep building my skills. But I have an awareness of that. I want to be a little bit clearer and I want to be a little bit more precise. I really admire it when I see people who their minds seem to go a million miles an hour and their mouths follow, whereas my mind will go, my mouth won't necessarily follow. So a little bit more clarity in my delivery.
So the biggest lesson I've learned is to have fun on stage, and if you're not having fun, you're the asshole. And that doesn't mean to be egoistic or anything, it just means also care about yourself, and then you help your colleagues more than when you're feeling responsible for them.
In a narrative show, there are some people who have the ability to really oversee the whole thing and like have things in their back pocket for later and like be able to weave things in, and I kind of just going along with the flow. And I'd quite like to develop that sort of that parachute view of the show to be a little bit more, this would be a good move now, this would be a good move now, rather than just a this is happening kind of vibe.
I think I'm okay with using my instinct and everything, but sometimes like yeah, and for a while I was like, okay, I don't want to use my brain, I want to be like instinct and with the guts and everything. But I think it's also a great tool from time to time, and sometimes we really need it. And yeah, that's something I would work on, you know, like all these storytelling arc and things like that, things you have to really remember. Sometimes it's a bit hard for me. Yeah, but it's cool, and I'm happy when I see myself doing it, and I'm like, oh wow, I did that, cool.
I'm so nervous before the shows, and it affects how my brain works. because I'm so stressed before the shows that I often feel like I'm blocking some parts of my brain, and that really annoys me so much that I just stress about it so much, and not be able to be in the moment and deliver and not go overanalyzing.
Me está obsesionando mucho encontrar para qué estamos convocando a la comunidad haciendo impro. Es decir, qué cosas estamos contando en la impro para poder molestar al público para que salga de su casa, sin que tenga que ser simplemente generar comedia.
At this point where I can trust that I can have all the ideas I'll ever need and like I'll never run out of things to say or do, but it's more of, will I realize when I'm in the pow, like the zone or flow, will I realize to pull back? Because I do realize that I'm the sort of player who tends to just go for it, and I think one thing that I need to learn is to recognize that when I'm in that, because it's not, it is a team thing, it's supposed to be that, so realize when I'm, what's the word, kind of like a train, and when I'm like in that, to be able to kind of look at it and realize to pull back, and yeah, it's and that's maybe the one thing that I look back on and I'm like, did I do it again? Did I do it again? I hope someone's going to tell me if I do it again.
Its place in my life, and maybe more widely what improv's place in all of our lives are, because a lot of other things fit really easily into a category of hobby or side hustle or full-time job. And improv seems to kind of straddle all three and yet not fit in either, in any one category. And so we go through these phases where we're working full-time on it and performing a lot, and it seems to occupy one place, and then suddenly there's a shift and it's occupying another. And yeah, I find it hard to manage those changes and try and find out where the healthiest place for it is for me.
Ja, manchmal ist es die Langeweile, weil wir uns so gut kennen, dass man schon ein bisschen gelangweilt ist, miteinander auf der Bühne zu stehen und dagegen ein bisschen anzukämpfen, zu sagen, na, also was muss man machen, dass man die anderen überrascht und auch wieder überrascht wird. Das ist so der große Auftrag daheim.
I think it's still the same that it's pretty much been all the time, which is like listening and being in the moment. Because I have a really active imagination, and if I like hear or see something that makes me go like, oh yeah, that makes me think of blah 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 blah, then I realize, oh yeah, something has happened and I don't know what happened the last 5 seconds, so like being still like constantly in there and listening and absorbing all the information without going tangenty in my head, going on tangents. And side roads. Getting sidetracked, yes.
Ich mag das gern, wenn ich da bin und einmal überhaupt keine fucking Ahnung habe und man denkt, oh, es ist alles schlecht. Ich liebe den Moment, wenn ich das Gefühl habe, alles geht den Bach hinunter. Da fühle ich mich am wohlsten auf der Bühne. Wenn alles funktioniert, wird es mir recht schnell langweilig.
And one of the things in playing with the festival cast is we have 19 people, 18 people. So that's 18 or 19 different styles. Some of them I know very well, some of them I don't know in the slightest. And for me, the question becomes, how do I respect and celebrate the style of this individual player, but also bring the style which I play in at the same time? So I'm not trying to dominate and push my agenda, but I'm also trying to not disappear and just raise up the style of the other player. So it's, I guess it's a little bit like genes reproducing, like sexual reproduction. I'm looking to get the best parts or the most useful parts of what I do and the most useful parts of what my scene partner does and make them make a beautiful improv baby. That's my metaphor for today.